Welcome back to the Dining with Nadiva show, where every seat at the table has a purpose. I am your hostess with the mostest, Nadiva. Now, today's conversation is about a kind of heartbreak that doesn't get talked about nearly enough. Okay, y'all? We often hear advice about romantic breakups, but what happens when the relationship you're grieving is a friendship? Can you lose a close friend or hurt just as much as losing a partner? Let's talk about it, y'all. That's what we're gonna be talking about today. But before we get in there, I gotta introduce my beautiful co-host today. To my right, I have my lovely godmother, Delise. Hi, Delise.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Another week.
Another week, girlfriend. How's it feel being back at the table?
It is phenomenal.
Okay,
like I never left.
And you looking phenomenal.
Thank you.
You know, my godmother, she's a bombdiggity.com. Okay? I just want to share that. And
Diggity dog.
can I holler? She's single. So all you brothers out there, holler. Okay.
Not all of them.
That's a little plug.
No. Listen, you got to
That's a
come
little
correct.
plug.
If you ain't got it corrected, you know
Lord,
who
see,
you
he can
are.
never wait for his
Don't even
introduction,
go over
Jesus
there because
Christ.
your
Never
feelings were
wait
hurt.
for
'Cause she know
his
words.
introduction.
She know words that you don't know, so you be told off. But like, what does that mean? Until you Google it later on. This one here. Yeah, go ahead. You come if you don't want.
But that's what they. You know what?
No, they gotta come correct.
Yeah, but it's okay if she can educate somebody.
You said all the guys out here holler. She no.
Listen,
Get your
it's not the words, it's the retirement plan.
Thank you.
The life insurance.
Hello?
So all you broke jokers out there, stay your broke
That
behind.
401k, honey,
if
gotta
you
be
ain't got no
kicking
money,
in.
leave your broke.
Okay, let's keep it. All right, well, you know what, y'all? Without further ado, this is Michael Parker.
Yes, allegedly.
Back at the show.
Allegedly.
What up, Michael Parker? How you doing? It's one of them days. Just
Honey?
one of them days.
Yeah, that song. Ooh, yeah, I know what she meant too.
Yeah.
That a girl
you
goes
didn't, 'cause I
through.
know what she meant. She was not talking about one of your days. She was talking about one of our
Oh,
days.
Jesus.
Okay.
No, I'm good. I'm just living, and just realize this topic really had me thinking.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow. Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to delve right into it. We're going to skip the restaurant today and just really delve into
No
this
food?
topic. No food. Only because this is a good topic that I really
ate
think
last week.
you sure did. The belly shows. So I think that we need to just delve right into the topic. Y'all like how I said it?
I love that. I love that for you, Michael.
I'm sitting right here.
I just saying.
The belly shirt.
That's just saying.
I don't wear a belly shirt in here.
You can tell he the married one. I'm just joking. I'm so sorry. I got them coming today. I know I'm spicy.
2 for 2.
I'm telling you, Lord Jesus, our Father, forgive me. Let me do my personal
You
inventory.
meant every bit of that. Don't
Like
ask God.
last week's episode. I need to do personal inventory today. Hallelujah. Holy Spirit is convicting.
Jesus,
Hallelujah. But let's get right into it, y'all. Because we do always talk about romantic breakups. But how do you heal after a friendship breakup? Because friendships often become some of the most meaningful relationships in our lives. They walk with us through celebrations, disappointments, life changes, and personal growth. But when those relationships come to an end, whether because of betrayal, distance, misunderstandings, or simply growing in a different direction, the pain can be overwhelming. Unlike romantic breakups, friendship breakups are often overlooked, leaving many people to process their grief in silence. Healing from those losses requires forgiveness, wisdom, healthy boundaries, and trust that God knows who belongs in every season of our lives. Whether you've lost a lifelong friend, or you're navigating difficult relationships, or simply want to become a better friend yourself. I worry about that always, sometimes. But this conversation is for you. But before we jump into the conversation, I got a good word of the day that I can actually pronounce. Okay, y'all? All right?
Ready?
Yeah, give me that drum roll, please.
Okay.
You wait.
All right, here we go. Today's word of the day is kerfuffle. La, 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 la. Kerfuffle.
Did we have that with the food last week?
Yeah. What?
Kerfuffle.
Well,
that
let
was
me tell the
mofongo.
definition.
That was mofongo.
That
My
was
bad.
mofongo, not
My
a
bad.
kerfuffle. Kerfuffle is a commotion, a disagreement, or a disturbance. This guy is a kerfuffle caused by conflict or misunderstanding.
I'm not
Kerfuffle.
conflicting.
So let me just use this in a sentence. What started as a small misunderstanding from Michael, it turned into a complete kerfuffle that ended a long time friendship.
With the lobster.
With the lobster.
That lobster had nothing to do with nobody.
I'm just saying.
Why you keep bringing that lobster up?
You got to go back to
his
last
skin.
week to
He
understand.
shed his skin unless he gets the holes again.
Shell.
It's not a skin, it's a scale. It's a shell.
He puts the lotion on his skin unless he gets the holes again.
That's the movie Silence of the Lambs.
You too young to remember
Oh
that.
my God,
He does this whenever he's told.
And the fava beans.
Poor little Clarice.
Oh my God, Lord Jesus.
Poor little
Oh my
Clarice.
God. All right, let's bring it on back. Back, okay? So, can y'all use it in a sentence?
I'm not prepared to right now.
You see, you done threw my godmother
Right.
off now.
I've
She's still thinking about that
I'm
red
in my own
lobster.
my job is
Deasia
done.
got that.
My job is done. Oh, Deasia, you got it. You got a sentence.
Deasia got it.
She got a sentence.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what-
with the Lord. What was your sentence, Deasia?
She gonna try and steal it, Deasia. Just
See,
tell him.
go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead, Michael. Do the
I
honor.
don't got no kerfuffle.
All right, he don't have no kerfuffle, so let's just keep
I have
moving right
mofongo.
along.
Mofongo.
We're gonna try our best to use it in a sentence today, okay? And y'all do it at home too. You just never know. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing wrong with introducing new words.
Exactly. But getting back to our topic, which is we always talk about romantic breakups, which we do, but how do you heal after a friendship breakup? So one of the questions I wanted to ask my panelists is, why do you think friendship breakups often hurt just as much as a romantic breakup, yet receive far less attention?
I think they receive far less attention because a lot of people don't openly acknowledge them. They just move on.
Right.
Whereas if you're in a romantic relationship and anyone that's close to you, they know that you're with this person and now you're no longer with this person. But because we have different kinds of friendships, we have the girlfriend that we always go shopping with, or the girlfriend that we talk about relationships with,
Right.
and the girlfriends that we talk about work stuff with.
Right.
Because we have all of these different kinds of friendships, sometimes people are not privy to the different friendships you have outside of them.
Right,
So they
right.
don't know that there's a breakup.
Right.
You know, and so I think that's one of the reasons why it's not spoken of as often. What do you think, Michael?
Guys are a little bit different. Guys are
He
different.
was sitting there and thought.
No, because a lot of times when there's a relationship breakup or a marriage breakup, there's community property or kids or whatever. Outside of going into business with someone, you don't have anything else that's tying you to that other person, unless you guys were roommates or something like that. But once you evolve and go on, I think I like the movie Casino comes to my mind. They were great. They were friends coming up, and then when Joe Pesci decided he wanted to venture out and be wild, and Robert De Niro's character
Wanted to settle.
he wanted to be normal.
Yeah.
And that person you were going in two opposite directions, but you guys, their lives were intertwined because they were doing business together. And then the things happened to where their lives started to break apart. And then it's like, I don't want nothing to do with this guy no more. He's still invited. He still could come to the house anytime. And he ultimately wound up doing, having a relationship with his wife. But watch the movie. It's a good movie. But just watch.
Yeah, he did.
You don't remember Casino?
No, I've never watched
Great
it.
movie. Oh, it's
Yeah.
3
With,
hours.
what's
Honey, you're going
her
to be there a
name?
while.
Sharon
It's a
Stone?
great movie. Oh, great movie.
It was a good
But
movie.
it
Did
showed,
he end up killing him at the end?
I told you to ruin it for her.
Oh, sorry.
Here, I'm gonna
we-
have to
we-
bring you back again.
We ain't talking about that kind of a breakup in a friendship.
No,
back. You know what I'm saying?
The ultimate thing is when especially men, if we break up, there's two things. If we decide not to deal with each other, there's either going to be a fight, where it's physical, or we just not going to deal with each other anymore. Now the fight thing could go whatever, but a lot of the times with guys, it's like, I don't even mess with him no more.
Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes it does happen with men that you guys will share a woman.
Hey,
And sometimes it's by accident, sometimes it's on purpose. And how do you think those type of friendship breakups occur? Like, what happens? Is it that fighting moment, you think? Or do y'all just like, because I know that's a big...
It depends on who the winner is, whoever gets her. Well, that's not even who they know. It depends on who the winner is, because sometimes when you get it, you're not the winner. You lost.
Yeah. Because I do know that there are relationships that break up friendships.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking of anything like that. I've never been in that type of situation. I think friendships that I have had that we experience a friendship breakup has just been because we've gone in different directions.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it has been distance, but not distance in like mileage, but distance in just life. Like our paths are going in different directions. And so what used to resonate between the two of us is no longer, pivotal in either of our lives. You're thinking about something else, I'm doing something else. But it is important that if you had a real friendship, that there is this common thread that at least if I ever saw you, there is a, hey, how you doing?
And not like, let me not pretend I see her.
And not like, I saw you, but I don't see you.
I just had an epiphany.
Yeah.
There's no division without a common denominator. Oh, look what I did there. Look what I did there.
Absolutely
Give yourself
nothing.
a little time on your computer there.
See what I did there?
My God, Lord Jesus. Well, the reason why I wanted to bring up that, because I personally experienced that, is, when you kind of distance yourself from a friendship because of a relationship they may have chosen that because you have longevity with that friend, does not align with all of the years of expectations they built for themselves and shared with you. And when you do try to give them advice and remind them of past conversations where we talked about their worth, their value, and then you see them diminish themselves to accommodate a man and there's nothing else that you can say. See, I can't watch a train wreck.
Well, see, that can lead to a kerfuffle.
Oh, come on, Godmama.
Right?
Give her a ding. Go ahead, Godmama.
No,
she hit that on the head.
I did the denominator, and y'all ain't say nothing.
Get her a
ding.
Lord G, thank you.
Pride.
Thank you.
Pride.
So you see what I'm saying? That causes a kerfuffle.
Right.
Kerfuffle.
But I think, I hear what you're saying, but if we have a friendship and I am doing something that you don't agree with, does that necessarily mean that we still can't be friends? I just think the nature of our friendship changes.
Here's the thing. If let's even put it this way. Okay. Let's just say you get into a relationship with the person that's abusive, whatever that may be, right? Yep. And now you like, Nadia, come out to dinner with us. I can't do that because it's almost like I'm celebrating that relationship, even though I know this man is doing you dirty and I know you deserve better. So if I distance myself from that, then I don't have to experience, but I'll be there for you when it falls.
Right.
I'm going to help you pick up them pieces. I just don't want to witness what I feel you're above, right?
Because what happens is you guys are putting yourselves in harm's way.
Right.
Because if something happens, he might reach over and grab you.
That's
too.
right.
But I do think in that particular case, you are still her friend.
Yeah.
Or that person's
I'm still
friend.
supporting her.
But I'm talking about like, what if the breakup, like we severed ties, we're no longer talking.
Yeah.
How do you mend that hurt?
Prayer. And also like what I said
do you
earlier
go out and
about
get a new friend?
Because the same thing could happen.
Like a man.
Just like a relationship.
Like a man.
We were doing so well.
It's still a relationship,
We were doing
right?
so well.
It
So
is.
you may go out and gain weight, lose weight, cut your hair, start spending.
Or
what you
could do is maybe spend more time with another friend you've been friends with and pour into that relationship a little bit more. I find this, as I get older, I'm establishing a lot more deeper bonding relationships with women today than I did back when I was growing up in high school and stuff like that.
Okay.
So shout out to Esther. Shout out to Esther, my work bestie. She's amazing. Thought I would give her a shout out on the show during this conversation. But she is one person that I have over the years, like what you were talking about, that person at work, that you guys feed off of each other, you know. She's that person. And even on the dating side, she and I can relate. Okay. But to go back to what you were saying, I know for me, I may not actively seek another relationship to be spiteful. But what I may do is either pour into another relationship where I might have been a little bit more and then just pray for that person.
Right.
And hopefully, I would always hope that my relationships will turn around. Have I had relationships with, friends for a long time and things happen? Absolutely. When I see them, is it awkward? Absolutely. But what can I do? But pray for them, hoping that maybe one day God will bring us back together, because unlike a romantic relationship, right, there's a big difference when it comes down to just friendships. It's not like, I feel like when you're intimate with somebody, it's a different kind of a breakup.
Right.
You know? Whereas you have that friendship intimacy, it's a little bit different. It's easier to kind of come back to.
I had a breakup with a friend in my adult life. In your early stages of young adulthood, you go to college, you don't, or you go to school this place, I don't, we're in different locations. Those kind of friendships, they
dwindle down, yeah.
But I had a breakup, an adult relationship with a very close friend. And I think for me, she had said some things that hurt me, but it was a trigger for me from past romantic relationships. Oh. And when I go there, I shut down. So immediately I block your number.
See, that's what I was saying about the relationships.
I delete you on all platforms and I just go ghost, right? And so me going ghost allows me to heal and to be reflective and deal with whatever happened. I don't go for, hey, let's talk about it, blah, 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 so on and so forth. But she had a health crisis. And when I found out about it, then obviously I'm going to show up.
Right.
Because there was no abuse or of that sort. So when she had a health crisis, obviously I was right at, tell me what hospital. Let me find out. And I'm showing up and I'm going to keep showing up. And then we had an opportunity to have a talk. Now, if that should ever happen again, I won't go ghost. I'm more mature now and more emotionally mature.
Right.
That I wouldn't allow myself to just cut that person off. Let me have a conversation with you. Let me tell you what triggered me.
Right.
Right. So that you could understand my triggers. I can understand your perspective and we could come to a happy medium. If we decide that from this point on, we're not going to pursue this friendship, then that's okay. But I at least am now able to have a conversation where at that point I was not able to.
Right.
In the midst of your time apart before she had the health crisis, did you miss her?
I did.
Was there a void?
I did.
Did you feel a void?
I did. There were times that I wanted to tell her something, like I experienced something, and that would have been something that I would have shared with her. And I was like, womp womp. And who could I tell, what other friend could I tell about this hurt? Who is the soft place to land that I could share that and they would understand my heart and the person that I am. And I had to do that. I had to tell someone else. I had to keep my distance so that I could mature in that area. And so we are friends again, and I am so grateful that we were able to come back to a happy place.
And you had a meeting of the minds?
Yes, a meeting of the minds, and just have conversation.
Yeah.
Difficult conversation, but conversation nonetheless.
Yeah, that needed to be had. And look, I believe in loving people from a distance. I've done that. One thing I've also noticed too is that, oftentimes people that are friends for a very long time that venture out into business and the business is not successful sometimes can tarnish that relationship as well. How do y'all feel about that? Do you think it's wise to risk that type of a friendship and longevity?
I think it depends on the level of expertise and resources that both people bring to the table. If you are launching a business with someone that is not business savvy, or they're not organized, or they don't have what it takes to launch the business, they're just a real good friend. Absolutely not.
Don't do it.
It needs to be someone that you would hire.
Right.
Would I hire you? Do you have good work ethics?
Right.
Are you going to show up and come to the table with everything that you got? Just because we're friends doesn't mean that we could be business partners. So I think that needs to be considered. Not just, we just two good friends and we've been riding for 40 years together and let's open a business. Absolutely not.
No.
The recreation turns into responsibilities.
Yeah.
And you do not, those two don't mix. If you guys were friends for fun, that's one thing. But once those responsibilities, those bills, those deadlines, those expectations, the profit or the loss, once that happens, it puts a different kind of emotion on.
Because wouldn't it be like working with a spouse? I see you at work. I see you at
home.
Everywhere I go, there you are.
Like,
when do we branch off and talk about something different?
I've worked with my best friend, and I've stayed home during COVID, and it was different. It's definitely different. I worked with my best friend, but we're the people that are around me are goofy and silly, and when we get over it, we get over it. Like, we could curse each other out, and then the next day it's like, okay, fine, we good. But that's true friendship. Now, with a spouse, you know, it's a different kind of emotion. It's a different muscle.
Yeah.
But back to where you're like the business side. Yeah. Once you got responsibilities as a friend, it's different because you have to then cultivate this business and. Is that person as passionate about the business as you are? Because it becomes, when you have a business, it becomes your baby. Do you love that baby as much as I love that baby? Do you touch that baby? Do you feel that baby's stomach the way I feel it? Do you take care of the needs of the baby the way I do? And if the person is all nonchalant about it, you're like, wait a minute. Don't you see what's going on
with the baby?
With the baby, yeah. Did you leave Junior alone by himself? So that kind of thing. So once you that responsibility, recreation and responsibility.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't even see that being like a possibility in my life, honestly, because I don't mix my friends. I've never mixed my friends. So I have friends for different seasons of my life, that I am so connected to.
Yeah.
But I don't mix work friends with church friends, with sorors, they're all in separate categories. Right. I'm the same person.
Right.
But I have
your
my different relationships.
You're an organized person. You have
she's a teacher.
You believe in things in decency and order.
Decency.
So
and order.
they have to have their
excellence,
place.
And order.
They have to have their place, and if they don't, first of all, you got to know your place.
Yeah.
If you don't know your place, then you can't be in the place because that place ain't for you.
And so that's why I'm thinking about when you mentioned working with a best friend. You're my best friend, and we do this together.
Yeah.
But now we're working together. So when are we gonna do the thing together?
Right. Yeah.
That thing now takes a back seat, but I need that thing because that's why we have that friendship. And it's not that friendship because you and I share this thing, you know? There's only one person, my sister, Anissa, that I can share all of the dynamics of me with, but I don't have many of those. Right. I have you for this, I have you for that, and I have you for this area.
Right.
You know, so I don't really want to go into business with anyone that is my friend. If it's business, it's business.
Well, that's definitely happened to me on a personal level, you know, and I think it was more or less, you know, friends coming together. But when you get to the part of ranking, what's your position and who oversees who? If they're not used to your friend now being your boss.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Sometimes that could do a little tarnish and turtle the relationship as well.
But then you have to know yourself, though.
Yeah.
Can you take direction from your friend?
Correct.
Or are they, and if they give you the wrong direction, are you able to either take it and do with it what you need to and work it out and then have a conversation with it? Or be like, that's stupid. Why are we doing that?
Right.
Because I don't need a yes man around me. I need you to tell me if it's wrong. We all have those friends that I'm tripping friend. I have 3 people I can call right now and be like, am I tripping? That I have to run it past. One is a spiritual leader. One is, you don't need to know who that is. And one is my wife. But do you know, I have to have the am I tripping conversation with all 3 of them in order to realize, all right, I'm not tripping. This is what's going on. This is why I feel the way I feel.
And they hold you accountable.
They have to. That's the only way they can be. And they have to say it in a language I understand.
Now, how can we trust God to bring the right people into our lives after experiencing disappointment and betrayal? How can we trust him on that?
One thing we have at this panel is experience. We know when God sends you somebody. And we know whether we have the burning bush experience or we have that stranger on the street say, all right, that's enough. And be able to accept it and understand it and know God sent that person to say X, Y, and Z when you needed it. And then you also have to know his voice.
Right.
How can you be my you can't be my sheep if you don't know my voice? You have to be able to have that goes with prayer, that goes with fasting, that goes with understanding, that goes with experience. And we, at this table, we're fortunate enough to have the experience to where we know, oh, that ain't it.
You constantly have to evaluate yourself and everything.
Yeah.
Evaluate your position at work, wherever you are. Evaluate your commitment to food. Evaluate your health.
Yeah.
Evaluate everything. Myself as a driver, I think we have to spend time with ourselves, talking to ourselves.
Yeah.
Even if you have to talk aloud. How's this going? How does this serve you? Does this bring you joy? Is this overwhelming you? Then why? Is it you? Is it them? Is it all the time them? Maybe it is. Is it all the time you? Should you have a conversation or you don't need a conversation? Is this relationship no longer serving me? And every time I speak to you, I end up being sad, disappointed, hurt, frustrated, or when I see your name appear on my phone,
You're
I'm
like,
if
I wanted to know.
yeah.
Yes, you have to.
That's Deasia. She over
Yeah,
there.
she's in the back.
She having a moment. Lord, deal with it.
She's talking about maturity.
I'm asking,
That's right. That's right.
how do you deal with
Well, if you are in a relationship with anyone that does not know how to communicate with you, you first need to communicate with them and let them know, this hurts me. This disturbs me. This bothers me. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Whatever it is, whatever the thing is that they are doing, you have to let them know, because oftentimes people don't know. They are assuming that this is how we've always been, and these are the jokes that we've always made to and from one another, but maybe you've changed now. And so they're not with the new change, so they're still doing the same thing. So you have to be forthright in communicating how you feel. No one other than God knows how you feel unless you articulate it. So that's the first thing, to be able to give words to your feelings. This is what you're saying really hurts my feelings. It's making me feel uncomfortable. And then you have to say, when you say this, this is how it makes me feel. Or
We
this
don't want
is
to
how
enter into kerfuffle. We don't want to
Right. You don't want to
No kerfuffles.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to say that first. That I think that's the first part. And if they, once you tell them and they continue, then you have to then go back. I told you that bothers me. And if it continues to happen, I'm going to have to move away from this relationship. I'm going to have to withdraw myself because it's making me sad.
Right.
And
It's
then-
hurting my feelings.
And you think that is a way to kind of...
And look, Jesus is calling.
He's calling. He wasn't. He's
Sorry,
calling
so
me.
sorry, it's my cousin.
It's your
So
cousin. He
sorry.
outside.
So sorry. But no, you're absolutely right. And I kind of agree with you when it comes down to communicating, you know, and making sure that there is healthy dialogue between
Right.
the two. I always want to invite my friends to communicate those
Right.
things. I have friends that tell me all the time, Nadia, sometimes you intimidate me. Sometimes I'm afraid to. And I'm like, girl, don't do that. Like, I try to be, you know, like, this is who I am.
Right.
I try to be authentic. I try to be transparent. And I also try to be like, what's the word? Approachable.
Right.
You know, like I want my friends, because I'm going to have that with you. You know,
Right.
I'm going to feel comfortable enough to tell you, you know, if there's a disconnect or
Right.
if I'm feeling a certain way. But one thing I also want to touch on, because I'm sure this does happen as in long relationships, when friends get married to spouses that are a different faith, and let's just say y'all grew up in church and somehow they got into a relationship with someone that doesn't align with your background, then what?
That's their life. That's the person that they lay down with. That's not who you lay down with. And when you roll over, your legs is not touching their legs. So it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Now, you would want to say to your friend, like, let's stay true to what we know.
Right.
But if that is happening in their household and you don't pay the mortgage in that household, then it has nothing
But what
to
if
do
she
with
like
you.
goes from like, let's just say Christian to Muslim because of her relationship?
That's still her business.
Right. But now, is it possible, just like in romantic relationships being unequally yoked?
Yes.
Can you also be unequally yoked in a friendship?
So I want to say yes. And I also want to say, because many I have that are not, we don't all come
From
to
the same
Christ
faith.
the same
Right,
way,
right.
And so who are you to say that I'm coming this way and you're coming this way and you're coming this way? That's between you and God, right?
Right.
But what I will say, if you turned out right now and you said that you want to be a Muslim, of course I'm going to witness to you and say, well, the way that we have been taught. But if you say, no, this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to let you do that.
Yep.
But when we're having a conversation, we're not talking about our faith. So we can't talk about chicken.
Yeah.
We can't talk about putting Lowry's on fried chicken. Well, what
Well,
was the thing?
that's-
I'm just saying, like,
I mean,
what was the thing that
unless
tied
I
us
marry a
together?
white man, he don't know about Larry's.
Well, he likes salt and pepper.
Just
Okay.
yeah.
Hey,
So-
look, to all our Caucasian viewers, she didn't mean that.
Right.
Y'all know how
but
to
what
season
I'm
your
saying
food.
is, when we became friends, what was the line or the thread that brought us together? Was it humor? Can we still laugh? Was it shopping? Can we still
What if
shop?
it was your
it
faith?
food? If it was faith, then obviously, then our relationship is going to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean that I stop loving
Right.
you and that I can't check on you. You all right? I'm just checking in.
Right.
Okay, that's it. But the nature of the relationship obviously will change.
Some of the best friends I've seen
good.
were imams and Christian pastors that work together, and they're the best of friends. Now they're in their capacity, in their professional and their spiritual capacity. They're two opposite directions. But when I saw them interact, it challenged my faith. Like, well, I thought we weren't supposed to, because I grew up Pentecostal, so you don't mix. But no, that man goes, a man or woman, they go to they have their life, their whatever, and we agree. Now, we might disagree on something else, but we can be agreeable. We can disagree, but still be agreeable. And that was like, wow, that really challenged my maturity, because in growing up, I was taught you're not supposed to mix the two. But you said about your faith. Yeah, we still can talk about chicken. We can still talk about the basketball
Or
game.
lobsters.
Right. So
I'm
we
done.
don't have a kerfuffle.
I'm done.
Come on, y'all.
This whole lobster thing. You know,
What a way to wrap up the show. You know what I'm saying? Lobsters and kerfuffles.
Lobsters.
You know what I'm saying? But y'all, this was such a great conversation. And I hope you all who are experiencing what we're discussing today got a great takeaway from it. Thank you to Delise and to Michael for all of your insight in this. I mean, this is amazing. I mean, you're talking right here, this panel of, I've known Delise for over 25, 30 years.
Maybe 30.
Yeah, don't age me.
So listen, I became a godmother to a young adult. So when you see me and she says godmother, don't think godmother from infancy stage,
No.
okay? Because
Well, no, technically, I was in infancy stage because I did get reprimanded one time. A few times, but I never forget. Yup, I never forget where I did something out of the church and I said something wrong to my mother.
Oh, my God.
I felt like she was gonna grab me by my ear and get your behind over.
Well, according to Ecclesiastes
It is,
3,
it is.
1,
I'm just
5
saying.
through 6,
Okay.
there is a time for everything.
Time for everything.
A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing.
Son,
a
shut
time
up.
to search and a time to give up.
Go
a
and sit
time
down.
to keep and a time to
Throw
throw
it
away.
away.
Tell your neighbor,
Thank
sit
you for
down.
that, Godmama. Thank you for
Tell your
that.
neighbor, go somewhere and sit down.
That's
Sit down.
right. So basically, what my godmother said is not every friendship is meant for every season. Some friendships are lifelong, while others are only meant to walk with us for a season. So losing a friend doesn't always mean you failed. Sometimes people are a part of your journey for a specific purpose. And when that season ends, God uses the experience to strengthen your character, deepen your faith, and prepare you for what's ahead. Healing begins when we choose forgiveness over bitterness, gratitude over regret, and trust that God knows exactly who belongs at our table in every season of our lives.
What the world was
And
that?
these are the people at my table. I know you for 20 years. I know my godmama for over 30. Come on, they at my table. Come on now.
hands. What the-
Yeah. Look at this testimony, y'all. But get yourself some people like I got myself some peoples. You know what I'm saying?
Peoples.
Because everybody needs that. But
the
this was
fishes,
definitely a
the
great
Good
made,
topic.
yeah, it was. It made me reflect on a lot of things and kind of even I did my personal inventory right now. I'm thinking to myself, maybe there's a couple of friends I need to reach out to. So thank you for coming up with this topic, God Mama. This was really, really good. Really, really good. And Michael, thank you for being here. You got some good stuff. You really got some good stuff.
That's what I do.
You did.
Him
You
and
did
his
that
3
thing.
friends.
You know what I'm saying? I bet you one of them is that lobster though. But listen.
I'm not
Let
gonna take
me,
this abuse. Watch me not be here. I'm not coming back
just
next week. Just for that. I ain't coming back next week. Hope you can find a lobster. that can just take
Listen,
my place.
Michael got to go run the Red Lobster. But we got to get up out of here because we got things to do, places to go, and friends to meet and make.
And get rid of. Get rid of.
Yeah, you know, after you do your personal inventory. But anyway, I'm glad you guys tuned in. Don't forget to like, subscribe.
And share.
If you have any questions, let us know your thoughts. Where are you at in your friendship? Are you going through something right now with a friend? Are you leaning towards, maybe ending that friendship, or you're trying to find out if this is a seasonal thing? Pray on it, But let us know your thoughts. Drop a comment in the comment box. But we got to get out of here, y'all.
Gotta go.
But until the next time, stay divine. Ciao.